We get to build a race car.
We had to buy the car from a teacher.
$10,000 what you're given.
A 9-week time frame.
Race it against another school.
Finding it when you need it.
I think we should switch cars.
We're gonna go hunting for this notorious bug they call a yellow jacket.
East Hickman Yellowbirds.
Both teachers donated their cars, so they got to keep the $10,000 for parts.
Gentlemen, you're fixing to step into a world that very few people ever experience when it comes to horsepower.
Now, we've told around that we were building a Camaro.
We should have bought a Camaro.
Fairview chose to build a Monza. It's been a drag racing favorite for years, but for high school students to build a tube chassis car, that's an ambitious project.
The car has to go to NADC to fix the chassis. We can't do that here.
They have the skills and the tools to build the frame, and we do not because we're only teenagers and we have no idea what we're doing.
The car was pretty rotten to say the least, but I'm sure as a finished product will be great.
We didn't know what to do. We didn't have anything to do in the shop. We need a car to work on to be able to put the parts on it. Things would have been getting done.
Look at that. That's what we need to do right there.
Yeah.
Set the front on the ground.
That's what it's going to be.
What we've got is the contest going through the kids, giving us an idea of what they think the car ought to look like.
Any more drawings? This is for the car. We've got 3 good ones.
Let's run through this right quick so we can get started. Steve. Here. Jeremy.
Here.
Dale. The Mustang was primered Saturday night at David's. It was a 15-hour day for most of us, but half a day for our crew chief. Everybody's here. Dale, it's good of you to join us. Dale, you feeling a lot better? Dale took off early, but Michael and Daniel, they were there all night. We may have to put that on your resume. You don't work.
Yeah, I told him he lost his job, Mr. Collins. He almost cried.
There were some times I wasn't able to make. I had to do some work at the house or something with the family. What Collins wanted me to do as crew chief, oversee everything, make sure everything's put together right.
You're not physically working, you just got to make sure it's getting done. If they need help, help them. And he didn't like that.
Dale was crew chief on paper. When you get in the shop, everyone listened to me.
We had to rotate you out of there since you added stress gets to you.
Ohm's Law.
Ohm's law is how much resistance we can count in a certain element, such as a wire.
Waiting for the car, working out the bugs, getting irritated because it wasn't here. We have to go here and do this formula for this one. I'm just wondering, is the car out in the shop? No.
Cal, this is not open book test, son.
He'll be back maybe a week.
It's a big day today. Jim's here from AJE with our new front end. Sometimes I have to motivate them with a hacky sack. So. Who wants the first question?
How much did the whole set cost them?
What we're putting on your car, around $2,200, $2,300, you can get by with a base setup.
Question, Art. Here you go.
There is a sense that when we're going to work on the car. What about the bumpers? Did you want to get started on those? Just keeping the side panels and stuff around just to play with isn't keeping us intrigued.
When we had the frame being built, Hobbs was talking about how there might be a slim chance that we'd actually have to get another car. Does it go in the back and frame around right here?
You're asking for a miracle. When we disassembled the car, I told them to label everything. Do not just lay the pieces down. So when Jim got here, we couldn't find them.
They go in the trash can.
How many goobers does it take to go find a bunch of bolts?
Sit on white bucket.
Typical shop work. Look for everything.
They went upstairs and they looked around.
Hey, we got winner. Is there another one of those?
If we don't find it, we're going to take all this stuff out and sit it on the floor. If you break her apart, we don't have an open car.
He does weird stuff like that, make you learn the hard way. You'll remember it that way.
She's got another piece that's coming together. Now there's 2 bolts. Problem solved.
It was Gopher's fault.
It's not there, you're fine. Okay.
Gopher, he's a 40-year-old virgin. Yeah.
No, I'm fine.
Steve and them were telling me to take stuff upstairs, and Steve came up with the idea.
The only word for gopher is that, gopher.
When he called me Gopher, I'm like, oh no. That was one of my nicknames up there in Callaway for a different reason though. They said I looked like a gopher.
Gopher's new to me this year. He moved in from Kentucky, wanted to learn, you know, get in the way, trying to learn how half the time. It took a while for him to realize that us picking on him, we weren't doing it to be mean, we were doing it just to joke around and have a good time.
We wouldn't pick on him if we didn't love him to death.
We finally got it installed, but there's a lot more work to be done. We need more help and less excuses. Thanks to everyone who come out and helped us prime this thing Saturday.
Yeah, for real. I was supposed to be there, but I had to run like 12 miles.
Yeah, sure. There's people who just show up just when they know the camera's gonna be there. Very annoying.
I would have begged to have been there Saturday, dude. I had to run 12 miles.
Oh, your mom told us she was asleep. Hey, why didn't you?
It's a beautiful color. Nobody's ever used it before.
My suggestion that I put in was Daphne Blue. Daphne is Dale's mama.
When I first walked in there, I was speechless. I was just bumfuzzled why they were not ahead of the game.
I'm out of here for 10 days.
You're not getting a picture of my mom.
The idea about racing and this type of racing is trying to stay ahead of the other person and having something that you're not completely upfront with until the day of the race, and they see your car and say, oops, that's not what I thought it was going to be.
We heard all kinds of rumors. I heard that we were building another car.
I found out they had two cars, Camaro.
They think we have a Camaro. We want them to think that.
They had a Porsche.
Bad car and it was already done.
One of Hickman County's famous things are rumors.
Our other car's a Porsche. Blue jumpsuit one pieces, just hand-me-downs. Try to put them on, you just barely raise your arm up and your voices go up 2 octaves.
It fit, I guess.
We were trying them on while Hobbs went to check on the Monza.
Gotta have steering parts. Hope it's not a dry run. It's been 2 weeks and I'm anxious to see what they've done. When I first walked in there, I was speechless. Well, that's looking good. This is going to be a strut.
Yeah.
I knew we were in trouble. How many more days do you think we got in it?
I'm out of here for 10 days.
He was going on vacation?
Right. Yeah.
What am I going to tell the students when I get back?
I think all of ours fit pretty good. Except for his, except for Kyle.
The way it was explained to me was that this was a program for high schools to compete against one another. By bringing it here and having older than high school students do it was kind of like being dishonest.
I don't believe NADC just took it serious.
I got the block, and if you get the case, that'd be great.
It sat there 2 weeks and they never put a thing on it.
Miscommunication.
Everything that was wrong.
You didn't bring any axles, bolts, or covers. I'm gonna go and just hit the lights on your way out.
David sprayed some test paint on the Mustang. It's a beautiful color. Nobody's ever used it before. He mixed it himself. What you need to be doing is just like the rest of the student body's doing right now is deciding what you want to call it. We're going to name it, and it's going to be put in the color library.
Nobody else has their color. Yeah, that's the best part of it.
Had every student in the school put down what they thought the color should be.
The votes are in. The color for their new Eagle One race car for Drag Race High is Eagle Eye Blue.
The color I thought it should have been was
East Side Blue.
I didn't come up with a name for the color of the car. I kind of helped.
My suggestion that I put in was Daphne Blue.
I have heard of Daphne Blue.
Daphne is Dale's mama.
Do I like older women?
He's a ladies' man.
Yes, I do.
Dale's mom, everybody thinks is hot.
And she's a very attractive older woman.
Women are kind of like wine. They get better with age.
And we were all gonna vote for it and hope it won.
It was close, I think it was third.
And we didn't tell Dale.
And then, pretty car, you got a pretty mom. It goes together.
There's one guy in the class who wanted to name it after his mom. I don't know if I'd like that or not, if I was that boy.
No. You're not getting a picture of my mom.
He's got to finish the sheet metal. in it in the door and hang the shocks on it, hang the steering. We were looking for 4-link instead of the ladder bar system. Ladder bar is an old system.
When it came here, it came with a rear end with ladder bar suspension on it. Why'd you do it like this? Why didn't you make it like that? I said, that's the way it was.
If they can't get on it in 10 days, then Monday I'm coming after it. The only thing our salvation may be is it's going to be in November, 1st November. We need to get the body stripped and get the primer coat on it. The thing about ours compared to Todd's and them, theirs was full of dents. They had dents everywhere. Looked like somebody went around with a ball peen hammer, according to them, and the boy that's doing the body work.
The Mustang, I probably did tell him we did a lot of body work to it. That Monza, that was a bad looking car when it was new. Bad model altogether. It was one of Jim's mistakes.
We started out right, looking good, so we can fix it if we try. All we gotta do is get back to how we used to think.
He's applying the black dye to the interior pieces. Go air, fluid. Give me some fluid.
Bargain prices for the common man. Super centers close the general store, and then friends are replaced with happy face again. Shops going under all the time, so we can save a dime. We started out right.
So ours is a whole lot better. It's straight.
Don't let them tell you hope is lost. I better tell y'all it ain't.
Went up there and looked at the car and see what progress they made. It didn't look good.
We're doomed.
We've had a lot of questions about people asking where we're getting our money.
Went up there and looked at the car and see what progress they made. It didn't look good. Not sure they're going to make it in time.
And he was just devastated.
NADC sucks. We're doomed.
I knew with Tim Miranda coming in from Castro was a big opportunity for the kids to meet somebody huge in motorsports.
I design and test all the race oils for our NHRA sponsorship, which is John Force Racing.
James Crabtree brought in his rail. We had my brother's Nova. We set all three side by side just to give Tim to show some things that he couldn't normally do in a classroom.
That's a bad motor. Yeah. Look at how straight these headers are and how short they are. So there's very little restriction in the air going through that engine. My main goal in the top fuel oil is I've got to keep that motor alive. That's the number one thing that's got to happen with that oil so they can get to the other end, to beat the other team. What's the role of oil in that equation of how to increase performance in an engine? In a drag race car, you want to be able to develop a lot of power at high RPM. Well, think about the airflow in and out of yourself when you're running. It's no different for the engines. If you allow the engine to breathe better, it can actually perform better if you've got to run real fast. And if you look at drag race engines, you'll notice that the parts are a lot lighter. You'll feel the difference. The left-hand side is definitely lighter. And the faster I go, the harder I've got to work. And this arm's starting to slow down. I can feel it already. Pretend you're the cylinder there. I got you in the weightlifting class here.
Tim being a chemical engineer, and it was right down my alley. I thoroughly enjoyed it because I teach a lot about oil.
You know, it's a lot to absorb. Everybody's brain hurt right now?
We went to the school board to ask them for permission to go on the field trip to Bowling Green. Tim Hobbs was on our school board.
That was aggravating, eating him. I didn't want him to give our ideas away.
The only problem we're going to have is East Hickman High School, where I'll ask you to approve something to take care of them.
I know we were there for 2 or 3 hours. We were last on the agenda. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I hate to have to come before you tonight this late. We've had an opportunity through our Drag Race High program to carry some students to Bowling Green to the National Mustang Racing Association World Finals. I would like to ask for permission at this time to be able to stay overnight if possible. We've had a lot of questions about people asking where we're getting our money. We had a large donation enabled us to buy an engine that we weren't able to afford a few weeks ago. We're right now looking at somewhere between $31,000 that we've had donated in parts and money for this.
$31,000 kind of surprised me. We probably had raised half as much.
All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed?
We're working on a newsletter that'll be sent to everybody, except for Mr. Hobbs there. Of course, he may need some help. We'll send those pictures too. So there were so many rumors out there
There is no second car.
that I just wanted him to know where we were.
We're behind schedule.
And if he was behind, that he was way behind. We had to spot them very much. We blew that when we went by.
Because she said the show must go on.
That it's not too big a job for you to do. You're just gonna have to man up and do it. This is the real world, guys.
I'd rather be out there losing with them than watching and thinking what might have been.
Wake up, get dressed, move along. Don't stay locked up and feeling sorry.
Okay, are you all ready?
Well, we need the money, you know.
Don't worry about it, we'll be all right. Hosting the wheelchair is pretty hard because all I can do is just roll around, and there's actually a part in the scene where I'm rolling away from people.
And I kept my head on strong. Did you think I would wait? Well, I'm sorry.
There's a fight scene in this play that we're probably gonna have to get rid of.
Well, I decided I don't like your whiskey, and I'm gonna whip you. Get up and fight, you coward.
It's pretty tough, but you know, we gotta find ways to do it.
Good.
Because she said the show must go on. It'll be a week and 3 days from now. I'll be on crutches, but I'm not sure about walking, but it's gonna be soon, hopefully.
Don't forget that we have our very first football game here tonight. The Eagles will be playing Stewart County.
Guys, I got something for you. Two things. One, we got a new accessory to go on the car. I don't know if we can use it, but he said try it and see. I thought if we had to spot them very much, we blow that when we went by. What do you think, guys?
Is it a Dixie horn? What kind of horn is it? Just fill us in.
Yeah, I told you we'd put a Dixie horn on it. I don't think this one plays Dixie. Mr. Jackson was telling me about this. This does go out on the football field.
We know when Todd's joking around and everything, and we know when he's serious.
I am disappointed, very. For 3 periods yesterday, I asked y'all to wash underneath the car.
Most of the time he's joking around, but when he gets serious, we know we gotta listen.
For about an hour last night, it had to be done, need to be ready this morning, so I did it. I ain't supposed to work on the car. There were some key suspension parts that had to be fixed, and these were parts that were, if they break, somebody gets hurt. Guys, I can't do my job and yours too, and I won't do your job. That it's not too big a job for you to do. You're just gonna have to man up and do it. This is the real world, guys. Everybody wants to do this, but there's very few that can because they're not willing to step to the next level, and that's what you gotta do.
We're trying to see how many cc's each chamber is. Because if one's off, then the other one's going to be making more horsepower than the other. You're just going to have a motor that's just going to sit there and shake and be unbalanced.
How much clearance we're going to have between the rings and the piston wall so we get the performance that we need out of the motor?
That was just learning experience, so when the car came up, we could do it, get it in.
Y'all are gonna have to work together. You're still blaming each other for things. Dale's over the job. You're wanting to play. Michael's not being able to do what he needs to do because he can't get to it. So this morning, we've got to bolt the cage to the floor. Dale, I need you and Cody start getting the holes drilled for the plates to put around. There will be 2 bolts that you cannot drill from the top. There's paint on the car now. Questions? Let's go to work. This one right here is behind the roll cage. You can drill these 3 from the top, but there's gonna be one that you can't, so you'll have to drill it from the bottom. Oh, wait, what did I tell you about that? William's gonna come out here and break your arm off and beat you with it if you skin that roll bar up.
I'm not skinning, I've got my hand ready to stop the drill.
You better not. But now I know that's the best thing to prove me wrong. Don't tear up anything. My blood pressure's gonna be up, and my wife's gonna be on me. gel. You skin the bar up, ask you not to scratch it up. That's the first thing we've done. This is our project. But when you go to work for somebody else, I'd hate to know I got fired because I did what I was asked not to do. We got the horn ready, the big train horn ready. I was all excited to blow it anytime that we'd have scored. Well, the boy was there with me.
The official blower of the horn.
How you feel about that?
I don't know if I'm on TV.
First home game, I really want to play. Even though we're getting our butts kicked, I'd rather be out there losing with them than watching and thinking what might have been.
We played 4 games and haven't scored a single point. And the students are dying to hear the horn. We just never got to blow it. See, we didn't do it.
That paint job will make that car go 7% faster.
You got your guys' car back, what, yesterday?
Go all the way to the end.
Will they even get it done in time? I guess we'll have to see.
I'm already put my helmet on and everything.
Mine knows a good thing. Covers all the bad spots up.
Where's the rest of it? You know? Where is the rest of the car?